This week we're thinking about peace as we move towards Christmas. And in James 3 and verses 17 and 18 it says this: "But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. Peacemakers who sow in peace reap a harvest of righteousness." Sometimes it's not easy living in peace or being a peacemaker. But there's a wonderful story about a group of Israelis and Palestinians who went to climb a mountain in the Antarctic. The mountain is called the Israeli-Palestinian Friendship Mountain. It's 2,770 metres and it's in the Bruce Plateau in Antarctica. It was climbed and named in 2004 by an 8-member team consisting of 4 Israelis and 4 Palestinians. The expedition was arranged by Nathaniel Heskel. He wanted to prove that Palestinians and Israelis could work together despite the troubles in their homeland. The Israeli team consisted of Heskel. He served in the Israeli Defence Force for 10 years. Doron Errol. He served as an elite commando in the Israeli army. Avihu Shoshani was part of a right-wing political scene in Israel. He spent 4 years as a commando in Israeli defence. And Yarden Fanta was a Israeli woman on the team. She was a PhD candidate. The Palestinian members were Nasser Quas. He spent 3 years in an Israeli prison for attacking Israeli troops with firebombs. Suleiman al-Kahatib was a member of the Fatah party. He had been imprisoned in Israel for 10 years for carrying out actions against Israeli troops. Zawad Dawish was a journalist. His brother had been a member of a radical Palestinian movement, and his brother was killed in an army raid from the Israelis in 1982. Olaf Haider was the only Palestinian on the Israeli national volleyball team, and she made up the last member of the group. The expedition departed from Chile in January 2004, and the yacht navigated around 600 miles of the most hazardous oceans in the world, including circling Cape Horn and passing through the Roaring Forties. When they arrived in Antarctica, the team trekked for a week until they reached the foot of the mountain. And in a high wind and low visibility situation, they had to terrain many crevasses. As they started their climb, they roped each other together in mixed groups of 4, and using crampons attached to their boots and ice picks in their hands, the Israelis and Palestinians took responsibility for each other's lives in this situation. Climbing over a glacier, they reached the summit on the 16th of January 2004. At the summit, Ziad Dawish said, in tears, "This moment is so beautiful, seeing Israelis and Palestinians doing this kind of thing together. Yet it also makes me think of all the horrible things that we're doing to one another back home." And they made this joint statement. Part of it reads, "By reaching this summit, we have proven that Israelis and Palestinians can cooperate with one another with mutual respect and trust. Despite the deep differences that exist between us, we have shown that we can carry on a sincere and meaningful dialogue. We join together in rejecting the use of violence in the solution of our problems, and hereby declare that our peoples can and deserve to live together in peace and friendship. In expression of these beliefs and desires, we hereby name this mountain the Mountain of Israeli-Palestinian Friendship." The crew was ultimately successful in scaling that mountain. But first they had to be willing to extend grace, mercy, forgiveness and trust to their teammates. These are the qualities of wisdom that comes from heaven, as James describes them. And he likens the process to finding peace to planting. When we plant and cultivate peace, we harvest and experience righteous fruit. Often peace means taking the first step and planting the seeds of peace. It means extending a hand of friendship to others. It means that we might have to swallow something of our own desire or our own opinion in order to bring peace. And Jesus did all of these things as he brought peace into this troubled world. We'll explore more peaceful ideas tomorrow, but till then, bye for now.